What's creamy, cheesy, bubbly, has tons of layers, and will make everybody beg for seconds? My 3-cheese, 3-vegetable lasagna that's perfect for any family. Let's go. Seriously, if you haven't made lasagna with fresh pasta, you are beyond missing out. I mean, it's a game changer. It is so incredible, you will not believe it. So you must try it. Step 1, let's get that pasta in the water. For my full step-by-step video on making pasta, you want to check up here. The full video is going to give you all the little details to make it just right. We're at a rapid boil. I'm going to give it a nice handful of salt. Now in go the fresh lasagna noodles. I put them in one by one, but fairly quickly, because I want them to cook at the same rate. This is going to be about 3 minutes. Just want them to be slightly tender, because they're going to bake again in the oven, right? Okay, 4 minutes in. The cold water stops the cooking process. So again, it's a little bit different. I never rinse pasta, but here it's really going to stop the cooking process and give it that perfect texture. Now it's time for vegetable number 1, onions. A little bit of olive oil and or butter. Shallots or onions going in. And if you know me, it's probably going to be a shallot. Moderate heat here. I just want to soften these up. Little salt, just teeny bit. Little pepper. While those shallots soften, let's talk veggie number 2. Look at these mushrooms. Come on. Amazing. So any kind of mushroom that has a little bit more flavor than a button. So we're going to go with cremini. Slicing it. Next one is this. This is a shiitake, which I removed the stem because they tend to be woody. This one's got a little bit more oomph and a bit more meatiness. I want to slice them about the same size. Keeping my eye on the shallots. Right now I'm turning down my heat to even a little bit lower, because I see that it's just catching a bit. Now that the onions are a little soft, hitting it with garlic. This is a freebie. I'm not going to count this as a veggie. Here I want to make sure heat is super low, because I don't want these to burn. This is looking perfect. So I'm going to take these off, because now we're going to start separately to saute the mushrooms. Onions are off. Little more olive oil and or butter in the pan. First, mushrooms are going in. So this step here, vegetable number 2, by the way, did we count it? Mushrooms, seasoning. Now this looks like a ton of mushrooms. It's about 1 pound in the recipe, but they're all going to cook down, and it's important. Like, imagine if you just added that to your lasagna. Very little flavor. They're just going to be boiled, basically. Now this step here might take 8 to 10 minutes. You just want it all to sweat down. Just a little bit more olive oil if it's getting a bit dry. Halfway through, I'm going to add my chopped, dried mushrooms. Can you say umami? umami. Now, I'm gonna add back my sauteed shallots and the garlic mixture, just to bring it all together and cook it down for a few more minutes. Fresh thyme is going in now. Any of these earthy earthy herbs are great with mushrooms. Last and certainly not least, lemon zest, because if I didn't, you'd think something happened to me. And lemon juice, because that's really going to wake things up here. You want to heighten these flavors. Just the juice of a half a lemon, really. And now it comes off the heat. Pasta check, mushrooms check. Now it's time for the bechamel. Butter, melting, equal parts flour, off the heat now. I'm going to add my milk gradually. Bechamel is nice and bubbly. It's a beautiful loose consistency, no lumps. Now we're going to season it a bit, always in layers. A little bit of salt, a little bit of cracked black. Even though it's against the official cardinal rules, should be white pepper, but I like black pepper. A little freshly grated nutmeg. Oh, that smells so good. Now, if you're keeping score, we're vegetables 2 and cheese 0, but right now the king has arrived. So first cheese is about to score big. Look at this Parmigiano Reggiano. Yes, cheese is scoring big. That's going to go into the bechamel. Basically turning it into a Mornay at this point. Bechamel with cheese. This is off the heat. For all my step-by-step tricks on how to master bechamel, you're going to want to click right up here somewhere for the separate video that has, by the way, 2.5 million views and counting. I break it down step by step so you can become a bechamel master. Now, the veggies are scoring again. So right now, veggies 2, cheese 1. Introduce third veggie. Look at this beautiful spinach. Is just squeeze out a little bit more of that moisture. You see that? Creamy, spinach, cheesy. Oh! Let's assemble magic. Here we go. A little bit of fresh herbs. Parsley and basil, just to finish off the mushroom mixture. Yeah. Layer 1. A little bit of olive oil in the bottom of a baking dish, standard size. Starting with a sheet of lasagna, noodles, pasta. If you need to adjust the thickness of this, you can just add a little bit of milk if it starts to get a little bit too thick on you. Okay, now here we go. Bechamel. Mushrooms. And introducing, ta-da-da, cheese number 2, if you're keeping score. This is going to be some ricotta. It's going to give it a nice texture, a little bit of creaminess, and you can assemble this as you like. You can alternate it just in a couple of layers, you can have it in all layers, however you like. You're the boss. if you're keeping score, it's about to get interesting. 3 veggies, 2 cheeses. Enter the third cheese. This is some mozzarella di bufala. Buffalo mozzarella. Oh yeah. I promised you, cheesy, melty, bubbly. So this is gonna be the final layer on top to give it that really cheesy gooiness. And I'm spreading this evenly here. Lastly, to insulate that mozzarella, the final layer of the bechamel and spinach. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Making sure that I cover this completely so we get a beautiful golden bubbly crust. We are ready to go into the oven. It's now Thai, 3 veggie, 3 cheese. We're about to go into overtime with a little Parmigiano Reggiano on top. Technically, there's 3 cheeses, but a little bit more of this one. I am on the fumes of the 3 cheeses, 350. Convection is your friend here. I want to get it nice and golden bubbly. 40 minutes, I'm thinking. I promised you cheesy, bubbly. Look at this. Is it talking to you? Because it's talking to me right now. But we gotta wait a little while before we can see those beautiful layers. So I gotta let it rest for about 30 minutes. It's gonna be agonizing. It's tasting time, my favorite time. I'm going in for the corner. That delivers on all the promises. Bubbly, cheesy, layers, 3 veg, 3 cheese, and people will be begging for seconds. Look at that. Fantastic. I really think that you are gonna absolutely love, love, love this 3 cheese, 3 vegetable lasagna. Please subscribe, like, share, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what's happening in your kitchen. And please try this 3 cheese, 3 veg lasagna. You are gonna love it. This piece is mine though.